All right, welcome back to the 2-Minute Warning. Today I'm taking a look at the Cincinnati Bengals versus the Minnesota Vikings in the Week 1 upcoming Sunday of the NFL season. But before that topic, question for those of you viewing, Joe Burrow versus Kirk Cousins. Who do you got winning this game, and what's your score prediction? Comment down below, and you'll kind of hear my prediction and my overall score prediction throughout the video. Getting straight into it though, if you want to take a look, kind of a closer look at these two teams as far as who we're looking at matchup, you can't really compare these numbers. I think these two teams had complete different off years. A lot of the Vikings were hurt on defense. A lot of the Bengals were hurt on offense. Both these teams had their issues in 2020. So don't exactly base your predictions or base anything off these numbers. But more so looking at the matchups. If I'm breaking it down, Kirk Cousins versus Joe Burrow here. Who do I think is a better quarterback entering 2021? Personally, I think Kirk Cousins is better than Joe Burrow as of right now. I would argue Joe Burrow has a higher ceiling than Kirk Cousins, but that ceiling has not been reached yet. I just think he's only played roughly half a rookie season. He's coming off an injury. I just don't think he's reached that level yet. To me, Kirk Cousins is a top 15 quarterback, pushing the top 13, top 12. He's right around the range. I haven't made my exact quarterback rankings list, but he's somewhere in the top 15. And Joe Burrow, he's more so in the top 20. Again, I think Joe Burrow has a higher likelihood of ever reaching top 10 than Kirk Cousins does. But as of right now, he's just not at that landmark. It's just a little too soon to give it to him. So as of today, for week 1, due to the experience, the reps, and just where they both stand, I'm going to give the quarterback edge to Minnesota. Looking at the run game, Dalvin Cook versus Joe Mixon. Dalvin Cook's a top 3 back, in my opinion. He's the third best back in the league behind Derrick Henry and Christian McCaffrey. And Joe Mixon is probably around the top 10, right around, might even be in it. I'd say a top 12 back for sure. But again, haven't made my exact rankings. But even no matter where you have him, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, he's not touching number 3. And therefore, the run game advantage is definitely going to go towards Dalvin Cook. Neither of these guys really have ever played a full, superb, healthy season to their max potential. But still, week 1, going in healthy, I got to go with Dalvin Cook on this one. Now, the receiving room. This is an interesting factor to both of these teams. I would say the Vikings receiving room is more ready to go, just like the quarterback room. Kirk Cousins, we know what he is. Jay Jettas, we pretty much found out what he is. Adam Thielen is as good as a number 2 receiver as you could get. Irv Smith Jr. is looking ready to take the number 1 tight end role. They did trade for another tight end, Chris Herndon. They did sign D.D. Westbrook and have Chad Beebe as a third best receiving option. But after Adam Thielen and Jay Jettas, there is a huge teardrop on this team. However, if you look at Cincinnati's receiving room, we can even take a closer look if you want. T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd, Jamar Chase, and Auden Tate, a fourth option I'm a big fan of. This is a deep receiving room that all have very strong potential to have great seasons, great numbers, and just be a great receiving room. The only thing holding them back is kind of like the Joe Burrow thing, experience. It's a hurry up and wait thing. You just need patience. T. Higgins is only entering his second year. Same thing with Jay Jettas, but still, their rookie years had astronomical differences. And no disrespect to T. Higgins. He had a great rookie year, but Jay Jettas set records. Still, Tyler Boyd's still roughly young. I think he's entering his 6th year, but Jamar Chase being a rookie, Auden Tate still never getting the recognition I think he can get and should have. It's a toss-up. Do you want the Vikings team? We can take a closer look at their receiving room. Like I said, you have Jay Jettas, you have D.D. Westbrook. I think he will be out a little bit of time, but still, Adam Thielen. It's a more ready receiving room. However, the Bengals do have a deeper room, yet it's not as experienced. So it's really a preference thing. Who do you like better in this one? It's a toss-up. Do you want the team that has some Tier 1 top guys in Jay Jettas and Adam Thielen, or the Bengals who in time will have Tier 1 guys, but they're just not there yet? It's a toss-up. This is kind of a wash, in my opinion. Looking at the O-line, neither are great. Take another look at the starting lineup in the depth chart. This is what the Bengals are looking for. They're looking for a good tackle duo between Jonah Williams and Riley Reiff. They passed on Penei Sewell for a reason, and it's because that man right there, Riley Reiff, hopefully pays out for him, hopefully pays out for Joe Burrow. I believe Carmen Jackson, this is off the top of my head, is a rookie guard they took this year. I believe it was Carmen Jackson. I know they took a guard this year, and I believe it was Carmen, but I may be mistaken. So they are addressing the offensive line in some ways. The Vikings, they're nothing special as well. I'm a big fan of O'Neal, and they took Christian Darris on the draft, and I believe they took Wyatt Davis as well. So both of these O-lines are in a rebuilding, ascending process phase, whatever you want to call it, that's just not there yet, but they are at least trending towards the right direction. So this is kind of another one, like their receiving room for different reasons, I would call kind of a wash or just a preference for you guys. I just think it's somewhat kind of close to say one's definitely better than the other. Now, getting to the defense, I'm not going to really look too much at the tight end and the coaching staff. I think that you can understand Mike Zimmer's pretty well-known, respected coach, and Zach Taylor. I don't want to say his job's on the line completely, but it's not looking good. Looking at a defense, I think there's a big matchup here. You can't really look at this. Carl Lawson and Yannick Ngakoue aren't even on those teams anymore, so we'll look at the actual lineups. Looking at the Bengals defense, they had some specks of talent this year added to their team and just on their defense. Drake Hendrickson, I think he was tied second or third in sacks this year. I think he had 12.5 sacks, but that was on New Orleans when he had Mario Davis, he had Davenport, he had Cameron Jordan, and you still got DJ Reader, Sam Hubbard. You still got guys outbound, but still don't expect 12.5 sacks in my opinion. Maybe because of the 17th game you could get close to it again, but I just think he had a lot more help in New Orleans. Not to say he's not a good player, but just don't expect him to repeat the exact same numbers. In the secondary, Jesse Bates is as good as a safety it comes. I like Von Bell as well. I like the pickup of Mike Hilton. I like Trey Waynes, even though he'll be out against Minnesota this week or in week 1. Eli Apple's a decent pickup. Never panned out to be the first-round guy he was supposed to be, but still, at this point in time, he's got some experience to provide for this team. Again, nothing special. Great talent, Jesse Bates. Great talent, Trey Hendrickson. Great talent, and Von Bell, Trey Waynes, Mike Hilton, Sam Hubbard. But still, there's just a couple factors holding this team back. They're just inexperienced, new to the system. We're on a better system. Now they have to adjust, and there's just not enough to carry the entire defense, in my opinion. Whereas you look at Minnesota, they got a defense that could possibly be top 10 this year. Neil Hunter's coming back, and he is probably a top 6 edge rusher, somewhere around that range, in my opinion. I put him there roughly. You got your obvious ones, Khalil Mack, Myles Garrett. TJ Watt's not a pure edge rusher, but still outside linebacker. So again, those three, Joey Bosa, Nick Bosa, Daniel Hunter, again, it gets crowded, top 5, top 6. I haven't made my exact edge rusher rankings, but he is a talented guy that they did not have last year. They got a lot of big man up front to, crowd the box. Dalvin Tomlinson they brought in. They had Michael Pierce. Sheldon Richardson's an old Viking they brought back. Everson Griffin was brought back. They drafted Patrick Jones. They drafted Chad Surratt. Both of these guys in the 3rd round. They're addressing the defense, whether it be in the draft, through free agency, through just guys being healthy again. Eric Kendricks and Anthony Barr will be together again. They brought in Pat Pete. They brought in Bashad Breeland. Extended Harrison Smith. Xavier Woods. The Vikings are ready. I like the Vikings a lot this year to possibly go far, and I like them to possibly be my dark horse team. And if it's not obvious, I think Cincinnati can be some fun in this game, and you guys can see the countdown right there. It's obviously going to be a different countdown from when you guys are watching this, but I do think the Vikings will win this one. I just think they're more well-rounded and more ready. Again, Kirk Cousins has got plenty of experience. Joe Burrow is entering, I don't want to say his real rookie year, but his real full season, hopefully. Dalvin Cook, he's better than Mixon. Receiving room, you can make the argument that the Bengals are better. You could say the Bengals have a better receiving room, but as far as experience and ready to go, I would say the Vikings are better. Offensive line, again, another wash. Coaching staff, I would lean towards the Vikings, but the big one, even as many arguments you want to give to the Bengals on the offense, you want to say Mixon can go toe-to-toe with Cook. You want to say the O-line is better. You want to say the receiving room is better. You want to say Burrow can go to Cousins. It's undisputably better for Minnesota on the defensive side of the ball to me, and that is why they're going to win this matchup. They just got a better linebacker core, better secondary, in my opinion. We'll see. Jesse Bates and Trey Waynes can make some action, but them not having Trey Waynes actually definitely makes me say, looking at this matchup, Minnesota has a better secondary, linebacker core, front 7, front 4, however you want to break it down. I like Minnesota in this one, and I do think they'll come away with a win this Sunday and go 1-0, and the Bengals will unfortunately be 0-1. Could be a close game. This could be a game we see an upset in. This isn't a blockbuster Chiefs versus Browns or home opener, an NFL kickoff like Bucks versus Cowboys. But this is still a good game that's going to put up some numbers, in my opinion. If I had to predict a score, I would say probably 30 to 24, one-score game. I still think Minnesota will be controlling the pace, be the better team, and the more ready team. Like I said, I think they could go possibly pretty far this year. Not a Super Bowl favorite, but possibly a dark horse playoff team you just don't necessarily want to play. But you guys tell me, what do you think and what your score prediction is and what you think of this breakdown. As always, and of course, thank you for watching, guys. 2-1.